fans, do you want to win your share of $100,000? Simply enter the houseofboxing.com Fight Night Prediction Challenge. Compete with boxing fans around the world. Simply head over to houseofboxing.com and sign up now.
This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store and houseofboxing.com. Delighted to be joined with Mr. Two Tanks himself, Ohara Davies. It's been a while since we last caught up, mate, but other than that, how's things been?
Yeah, you're right. It's been ages, but things have been good. Back in camp, fighting in less than a month now, so just doing all my fight prep.
Absolutely. Before we get into the fight, I do have to mention the fish tank behind you. We see it a lot on the Instagram. Is it nice to see the nice fish tank flowing and growing?
I love my fish tank. I got no kids. I live on my own, so it's good to bring life into the flat sometimes. It's good to bring life into the house, and I love fish. I've had fish for many years now, and I just got a new upgraded tank. My fish, they like it here much more, and they're very happy.
Absolutely, it looks good, mate. It looks good. Well, we'll get into boxing. Obviously, 2nd of December, you're fighting Ismael Barroso. You've finally got a fight date. How good does it sort of feel to finally have a date to work towards?
It feels good to have a fight date. I'm fighting twice a year now. Last year I fought once. I think the year before that I fought once, and I've had a few bad years where I only fought once a year. Boxing, politics, and things like that. It really held me back for a number of years. But now I'm in a good place. So I had a massive deal, Golden Boy Promotions, and I'm busy again. I'm busy. I'm in big fights, and this is what I'm in the game for.
Was it frustrating those couple of years before? Obviously, you fought twice a year this year, but obviously you fought once a year a couple of years before. How frustrating was that inactivity for you? Was it a bit frustrating, or did you see it as learning or growing?
It was very frustrating. Like, I'm not getting any younger. Like, I've done all my learning. I've done all my growing. I need to fight, and this is the hard part about boxing sometimes. And a lot of people, they come into the game not knowing about the business side of it and the politics, and the politics, it can really weigh you down. I'm just glad and I'm thankful that I'm in a place now where I've gotten through that. But there are so many other fighters that are still stuck there. They get beaten one fight and then bang, no one wants to fight them. They can't get a fight date. Other boxers, just politics, and this game can be hard sometimes. But I'm very blessed to be in the position that I'm in.
Well, we'll get into obviously fighting Ismael Barroso for the WBA Interim World Title. We'll get into that in a minute. But Ismael Barroso as a fighter, and we saw him have a lot of success against Rolly Romero in May when they fought. How is it good to sort of get a test like this? A really hard fight for you?
Listen, everyone's overlooking Ismael Barroso. Everyone's talking that it's going to be a very easy fight, or I'm just going to walk through him. I know in my mind it's probably going to be the hardest fight in my it will probably be the hardest fight that I had in my boxing career. He hits hard, he throws punches in bunches, he's fit. Even though he's old, he's still fit, he can still punch. A lot of people, when they think about his age, what is he, 38, 37, 38, they're thinking about 38 English terms. A lot of people from here, when they start getting to the age, they start drinking beer, going to the bars, and they got beer bellies, and they give themselves 4 weeks to get fit. But it's not enough time. But with where he's from, they live in the gym all year round. Yeah. Venezuela, they live in the gym all year round. These guys don't rest. So 38, 39 there is like fucking 33, 34 here. So, he's someone that I can't look at his age and think that he's a bit over the hill. No. I've got to train like I've trained for any other fight, even harder. And I'm expecting a very hard fight.
Do you feel like the fight was meant to be? Obviously, you're meant to fight in 2021, where he had a cancellation cancelled on Fight Week. I'm sure you remember that very well. Yeah. But do you feel like it's meant to be with you two?
It was meant to be in the buy-off. I was meant to fight him, and then he had a visa issue on Fight Week. He pulled out the fight, but you know what? It was meant to happen. It was meant to happen. My career can't end. His boxing career can't end until the fight happens, and this was life's way of showing us that our paths are meant to cross, and we'll see. May the best man win.
Well, you mentioned Ismael Barroso's age there, and one thing that you were frustrated about was the fight poster. Was you a bit disappointed on how you came across the poster?
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. In a poster, I look about 50, 55 years old. That's why I didn't really post it. I put it on my Instagram, on on my story, but I didn't put it on the main page. It's just because I don't look good in it. Come on, I'm like, at least make me look my age. Come on,
Yeah.
even
Definitely.
twice my age. I look over twice my age.
Absolutely. Well, one thing that is obviously the fighters in America. How does it feel going over to America to fight there? Every fighter's dream to go and do that. Obviously, you've been to America before, had camps there and that. So what's it like to
Yeah,
fight there?
I've been there a couple of times. Yeah, but to me, it's just a normal fight. I've got past that stage now where you get excited about things. Now, nothing in boxing really excites me. I'm just doing it now. I've been doing it for years, ever since I was young, and it's all I know. But I don't really feel no excitement. But I think that's a good thing in a way, because I think when you feel excitement of any sort, um, it's an emotion, and that emotion affects you for the better or for the worse. But I'm like water, clear, plain. I just gotta do what I gotta do. A boxing ring's a boxing ring, whether it's in your call, whether it's in an MGM Grand. The boxing ring's still a boxing ring.
And for the WBA interim world title, is there some frustrations from this? Because obviously there's the Rolly is a champion of recess with his injury.
Yeah.
Is it a bit of a frustration that you're not fighting for the full world title?
No, it's not, because I'm just very thankful right now. I'm in a very thankful phase in my life where I'm just thankful that I'm still fighting. I've seen many other fighters start after me and their careers ended before mine's ended. And, my career could have been done. I was thrown under the bus a couple of years ago and everyone thought I was done. I got written off. So I'm still here today. I'm still boxing. I'm still fighting in big venues for big belts. It might not be the world title, but I'm very thankful that I've got the opportunity to fight again, whether it's for the world title or for the interim title. I'm just thankful. And once I get past this fight and I win the fight, then the world title's next. It's next anyway. So as long as I do what I've got to do, I'll get where I'm meant to get.
Is there a lot of frustrations with Rolly Romero? Because obviously he came out with his injury, but he's wasted a lot of your time if you think about it.
I'm frustrated about that. Yeah, I feel like my time is been wasted. Definitely. Like if you don't want to fight, if you're afraid to fight, then just say I'm afraid to fight. He could have said that he's injured from the get go, but he let it go to purse bid, and then a day before the purse bid, send an email, and then go back and forth, and he just let everything play out. He just let everything play out, and a lot of time got a lot of time just ended up getting wasted, and I'm very frustrated about that. But you know what? I'm fighting again before the end of the year, so who cares?
Do you believe the injury?
Oh, of course not. 100% no. I know people that train with him. He's still in the gym now, training now. He's fine. He just don't really want to fight me because he believes he can make much more money if he fights a Ryan Garcia, which is actually true. I can understand his argument, but he needs to understand my argument. I know you can make more money fighting Ryan Garcia or fighting someone else, and I know it looks a lot better on your record if you take a loss against someone that's got a bigger name. But you got to think about it from my point of view, and I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about how much money you make fighting these guys. I care about me. So I need, I need my shot.
Where you watched the Barroso fight between Rolly, you see how much success Barroso had. And when
Yeah,
it comes
exactly.
to the stoppage, do you feel like Barroso's a harder fighter than Rolly?
Oh, definitely. Barroso's much more experienced. He hits a lot harder. Probably ain't got the speed that Rolly's got, but the experience makes up for that. And Ismael Barroso, he's very, very, very experienced. Only last night I was watching him when he fought against Anthony Corolla. I was there when he fought Kevin Mitchell, when he stopped Kevin Mitchell, and he was a dangerous fighter back then, and he's still a dangerous fighter now.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, this fight is on the undercard of Ryan Garcia's comeback fight. Well, you are obviously with the same promoters, same division now. Do you obviously you have Barroso and then Rolly will be there as well, but do you envisage a fight with Ryan Garcia one day and maybe knocking off their top boy?
One day that fight will happen if I do what I meant to do. So, it could happen in the future. Who knows? It all depends on whether he does what he's meant to do and I do what I'm meant to do. But right now, if I don't take care of it, this next fight, Ismael Barroso, there's no Ryan Garcia fight. There's no Rolly fight. There's no world title fight. So my only focus right now is on this next fight, Ismael Barroso.
And now you've been with Golden Boy, promoted by Oscar De La Hoya, guided by guys like Bernard Hopkins. How does that compare to when you've promoters in the UK such as Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren?
Listen, man, me being signed to Oscar De La Hoya Golden Boy is like a dream come true. Not only because I feel like they're one of the best in the business, also because of how much I've looked up to Oscar De La Hoya in my amateur days when I first got into boxing. I used to watch, I used to watch Oscar day in, day out, you know, and he was one of my favorite fighters to watch. So now I spoke to him on FaceTime. Like, damn, he knows my name. Like, we're talking. He's one of my boxing idols. It's a dream come true. Being signed to Frank Warren was good. Being signed to Eddie Hearn, it was good. But this for me tops it all.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll go on to other topics. A familiar foe to you, a familiar opponent to you was Jack Catterall. He that could obviously be a future fight down the line, but he had his he went to a decision against Jorge Linares. What did you make of that fight overall and his performance?
It was a very boring fight. A very, very, very boring fight. But Jack fought a fucking great fight. He done what he was meant. He done what he was meant to go in there and do. It's hard to look good against someone like Linares. He's such a good fighter, so experienced, and even though he is getting a bit older now, he ain't lost it. He still got it, and I could see it. He still got it, and he was more hungry now than he was ever been. So Jack won a very boring fight, but he done what he had to do. If he wanted to fight more of an exciting fight, he probably would have gone in there and got beat. So I'd rather take a boring loss I'd rather take a boring win than take an exciting loss. So Jack done what he was meant to do. He's got a good team and a good coach around him.
And you think of it now in the domestic super lightweight. Do you see yourself as top of the tree when it comes to sort of such a stacked division in the UK?
Probably not. I probably need to get rid of this next fight first. Yeah, I put Lewis Richardson. I thought a good fight, but that doesn't automatically put me at the top of the tree. I don't know who I'd put at the top of the tree. Probably Taylor. Taylor's got up now, though, right?
Yeah, but Taylor's at 147 now. Yeah.
I don't think anyone's on the top of the tree. I won't put myself there. I won't put Jack there. I'd say it depends on your opinion, but I wouldn't put myself there just yet. I've got to win. I've got to win the world title first.
Absolutely. And one thing I did want to talk about now, obviously you did respond to it on an interview with Joe Pugh of IFL, but Tony Bellew came out and was very critical of you, made a lot of comments from you. Was this disappointing to see? How did you sort of feel about the comments from Bellew?
Listen, Tony Bellew, he's always had something against me ever since I fought Jay Matthews on his undercard when he fought David Haye. He's always had something against me, and even since that fight in 2017, me and Jay Matthews, I've seen him and we've made peace, and he's got over what happened. Yeah, we fought, we had a few arguments, a few disagreements, but as a man, we're now older, we've grown mentally, we're more mature now. Let the past go, and we both let it go. But Tony Bellew's always had something against me, and I don't know what it is. So when you're online and you're constantly bashing me, saying and you're saying all of these bad things about me, I've got to respond. I'm not a mug, I'm not a clown. When you're always saying these bad things about me, I've got to respond. But at the end of the day, listen, man, Tony Bellew's been a great fighter. He's been a world champion, something that I haven't won yet. So, when it comes to, boxing, boxing talk, there's nothing I can say. There's nothing I can say to him. He was a great fighter. I respect him as a fighter and I respect him as a man. But when you constantly go online bashing me for no reason, like, why do you hate me? But when you're constantly saying these things about me, you know what? I'm gonna bite back. And the more he says things about me, the more I'll keep on biting back. The more he gets on my nerves, the more I'll get on his nerves even more. But at the end of the day, I've got to admit he was a fucking great fighter in his day. But you keep saying bad things about me, and I'll still keep saying bad things about you.
Is it disappointing to see this animosity when you're obviously fighting so close to fighting for a world title, doing so well? You see someone like Bellew who will want to trash you and kick you down.
Yeah, like listen, a lot of people, a lot of people, they want the best for you, or they see another person, another one of their countrymen, going for big things, someone that's been thrown under the bus, that's been through so much in the boxing career, going for big things, and you nothing but bash me online and say bad things about me online. If I've done something wrong, then you're more than welcome to phone me and let me know what I've done. And if I've done wrong, then maybe I'll say sorry about it. But you know what? I really don't know what I've done. It's just very disappointing to see. He seems like a very bitter man, but I've done nothing for him to be bitter about. I haven't
Yeah.
won a world title yet. I'm haven't achieved what he's done yet. So what are you so bitter about? Why do you have this? Why do you have this thing in your heart? I don't know. For me, it's a bit weird. Like he's so successful. Why are you constantly saying bad things about me? That's not even achieved half of what you have yet. It's fucking weird, But you get a lot of weird people in this world, and yeah.
Do you feel like that's a bit of a UK mentality in a way where they do like to sort of kick people who are being successful? You see sort of someone very well, Anthony Joshua, the amount of abuse that he gets, and many other fighters. That do you feel like it's a UK mentality where do you feel like it's jealousy in a way from the people that get kicked down when they're at the top?
It is jealousy. Like with AJ, listen, I know AJ and how so many people loved him at one point. In the space of a fight or two, they say so many bad things about him. One day he's the best heavyweight in the world. Next, he's not even a British title level. All of these people, people that have fought like he's fought, people that have won world titles like he has. They know how the game works. They know you take a hard fight, you might win, you might lose. They know the game, and they're acting like casuals who don't know anything about boxing. But a lot of people in the UK, they don't support their own. They hate their own, and they want their own to lose. It's a UK mentality. That's what I think. But for me, you just gotta block it out. Stay around your loved ones, people that love you, people that care about you. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe whatever they say about you. Only thing that you really got to believe is what your coach says and your teammates say, and that's why everything else is just noise.
Absolutely, and with yourself fighting for a world title now, going back to that, you mentioned a lot previously about you can't say much until you got a world title. You've got to win a world title. How much do you feel like you have to prove it to yourself that oh, I can be a world champion. I can do this and prove. How much do you feel like you've got to prove it to yourself? How big is the motivation?
Listen, the motivation for me is so big because ever since I got into boxing, it's been my dream, and it's been many years now since I started boxing, over 10 years. And it's been my goal and it's been my dream, and I feel like me doing this will make the younger me proud. As life goes on, priorities change, ambition changes. Now I've got my hands in many different pies. Whereas when I first got into boxing it was all I had. Now I've got other motivation, I've got other ambitions now that I didn't have when I first got into boxing. So I feel like I don't owe it to me right now. I owe it to me back then. So me back then can see what I've achieved now and be like, wow, you've done it. And then maybe I think about doing some other stuff.
And with you saying there back then, throughout your career, it's been very up and down. You've been at the bottom. You've been, you're now at the top. When you look at all the doubters that you had back then that see you in a position back now, how good does it feel that you proved all these guys wrong and you're the one coming out top?
That feels fucking good because, mate, so many people wrote me off. Everyone thought that my boxing career is done. I used to see people outside of the street when I go outside, and first thing they say to me, are you still boxing or are you retired? So many people thought that I'm not fighting anymore. So many people thought that I'm just done. I remember I fought on a small show in Leeds, I think 2 years ago, and get people online laughing at me. This guy was a big dog one time. He fought Taylor. He spoke a big game, and he's back on small shows that are not televised that no one knows about. You know what? So many people laughed at me. So many people from my old gym, my old camps that I used to, train with. My old managers, coaches, they used me as an example. Oh, he was here, now he's gone. Now what's he doing? He's doing absolutely nothing at all. And a lot of people doubted me, and I saw these things. I saw people online saying these things about me. I just thought, it's okay, keep on working, keep on grinding. With a bit of luck on your side, I'm gonna get there one day. And I've had luck on my side. I've really had luck on my side. I've had God on my side. That's why I'm still here today.
And you mentioned earlier about sort of with Derry Matthews, and we see yourself, forgiving Eddie Hearn, forgiving Derry Matthews. When you look now, how much you feel like you've grown as a person now, where you're actually you don't hold so much animosity to, guys who you've previously had issues with?
Yeah, I think I've grown a lot, over the years. I look at myself sometimes and I'm like, damn, are you the same person? It's like mad. Like, I never thought I would speak to Eddie Hearn again, Derry Matthews again, especially Derry Matthews. These are guys that people thought it was fake, but we actually hated each other's guts. Everything that happened press conferences in a fight, it was all real. We didn't like each other's guts, and now we both, not just me, also him as well. We both grown as men, so much, and yeah, it shows it. It shows it, especially with Eddie Hearn as well. If I didn't get signed to Oscar De La Hoya, I would have got signed to Matchroom again. That's something that I never ever thought I would have even considered going back to Matchroom, and Matchroom never would have considered, you know, having me back as well. So I think everyone's grown. Everyone's grown.
And just the last one from me, how much have you envisaged throughout your career winning this world title, having the strap around your waist, calling yourself the top dog? Have you envisaged and manifested it much?
Ever since I was young.
Yeah.
And I was young, but every night I had to go to bed. Sometimes it used to take me through 3 or 4 hours until I fall asleep, just because I used to vision me winning a world title, me in a fight, and I'm get caught, and then I catch him, and then bang, and then I finish him off, and Ohara Davies is the world champion. Like wrestling, like WWE, I used to envision it every night. Every night, I used to be in bed for hours just envisioning it, and then I fall asleep every night. And it seems like everything that I envisioned back then is all coming to pass now, because I envisioned it and I worked for it. So yeah.
Absolutely. Ohara, I just want to say thank you for taking time to speak to me. Always appreciate catching up with you. Good to catch up with you again, and all the best for America in about 4 weeks' time, mate. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Top man.